What day are we getting the donuts? Let's start there.
For what, Mark?
Ye of little faith.
What are you talking about?
The bet was.
Wait, bet? I don't recall shaking on it.
The bet was. Who are my 4 players? Corbin Burns.
Not getting them.
Blake Snell.
Doubtful.
Cody Bellinger.
Not coming.
Or Matt Chapman.
I thought it was Matt Olson.
If any of those players were Giants by opening day.
Okay. We're not there yet, are we?
No, he's signed.
But he's not. He may be not as a Giant on opening day.
So we're going to cut him?
Failed physical.
He's already passed the physical.
Decides he doesn't want to play baseball anymore.
Actually, I'm
going to pursue life as a cornhole guy.
I still think that I win the bet. The bet was at any time up to opening day, if a player is a Giants, I win.
I thought he had to be a Giants on opening day.
He's a Giants right now.
I'm trying to loophole you. I will
going to
give
make
you
the team.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to see my tax guy who is somewhere near the donut place that I like to go.
Okay.
Quality Donuts. Yeah. Right there on 73rd in East Oakland.
Take your time.
The best donuts you can possibly find.
Hi, I'm Dan Dibley.
I pay for my donuts, so this is not payola.
I know.
Donut holola.
God, if you're going to do payola, don't do it for donuts.
A box of doughs.
Do it something that's more expensive than
I
donuts.
owe the team a box of doughs.
Yeah,
I will be bringing you a box of quality donuts.
Very excited about that, and very excited about the addition of Matt Chapman. I think that's great. I do think that the Giants could have handled that a little bit differently. Like, lob a phone call to J.D. Davis. Here's the one thing that has, I think, started to permeate the Giants franchise right now, which I hate. And that is, like, there's 2 different things. There's building your team and playing baseball, like the baseball operations, and then there's the human side. And we often hear from players that the Giants organization is really good with the human side. Very aware of families and how they take care of the players. Like, they've had a good reputation for a long time. But then there's just stuff that feels like it's starting to fall through the cracks. Brandon Crawford's not real pleased with how things are going. Who was that kid last year on opening day where they did that little, like, shimmy shake, wackadoodle, like called someone up and pulled someone back down? At his major league debut, suddenly the family found out about it that day or the night before.
Right.
It's like they couldn't get there in time. Do you remember that whole thing?
I remember it. I don't remember the player.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody even remembers the names of the players. And then you get to something like this, which is like, I don't know, man. Just how hard is that? How hard is that to lob J.D. Davis a phone call and be like, look, we just want to let you know, we're signing Matt Chapman. So
sorry.
Here's the situation.
You're now the backup third baseman.
Yeah, you're not going to be our right-handed DH. Yeah. We got this guy named Jorge Soler.
You may want to buy a first baseman's glove because we might put you over there, but probably not.
Probably not
because Wilmer will play
Wilmer
first.
Flores is over there. Yeah. Like, JD, we're going to do right by you. The situation is fluid. We love you. We still expect for you to be a very important part of this team. We don't know exactly how the left side of the infield's fully going to play out. There's a lot of things still being worked on, but we wanted you to hear it from us. Matt Chapman's going to be a part of the team this year.
JD, it's really important for us to get younger over at third, and so we're going to do that. Matt Chapman's actually 1 day younger than you. Literally,
is he really?
I'm just looking at the roster right now. April 27th and April 28th of 1993. So
they got birthdays coming up.
Farhan, we felt like we needed to get younger at third. and we did.
Kept our promise.
Totally.
Promises made, promises kept.
Sorry, JD.
Damn it, Farhan.
It's a youth movement. Come on.
They were college teammates.
JD
Davis and Matt Chapman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And what was it, Fullerton? I think he played at Fullerton.
Fighting over third base back then, I bet.
Well, guess who won that battle?
Yeah, Chapman.
Matt Chapman. He's going to win it again.
It's got to be annoying for JD.
Seriously,
you again?
Everywhere I go.
Dude.
This freaking guy.
Totally.
What are you doing here? All right, so that's one thing. The other side of it,
Fullerton, good call.
Much more important part is the actual baseball. And John Heyman sort of at the end of the Chapman deal threw out a tweet over the weekend is like, hey, like I know it hasn't gotten a whole lot of attention the whole time, but the Giants have had a pretty good offseason. When you go from Jung-Hoo Lee and now Matt Chapman and Jorge Soler, if you want to add in Jordan Hicks, he threw in the name Tom Murphy as well. That got Grandy all upset, saying that the Giants have had a good offseason because they signed Tom Murphy.
Right.
But whatever. They are the second highest spending team in baseball this offseason. That is a lot of additions. None of them are A-listers. However, I would argue that Chapman and Soler are strong B-listers. And this is the way I'd say it. I do think they've had a good offseason. I do think that they're showing that they're not going to just take all the Dodger moves lying down. I still think there's one more move that needs to happen. I still think that they need another starting pitcher.
At least one.
I don't think more than one, actually. I think that would be potentially, if you went and got starters that were established and you went out and got two, I do think you're creating a potential logjam that would get in the way of some younger starters who you do want to pitch this year. Like Kyle Harrison, you want to pitch.
Sure.
And when Robbie Ray and Alex Cobb come back, and then there's also Logan Webb, and there's Hicks, and then there's the young guys like Mason Black and Landon Rupp, and I know a lot of you don't know these names yet.
Slow down.
Carson Wisenhunt.
You're making stuff up.
No,
now.
You're
making up names.
Okay,
Logan
Larry.
Rupp.
No, and Tristan Beck is coming back. Keaton Wynn. Like, you don't want to end up, okay, it's fine. Have 8 starters. Don't have 13. Don't have 13.
Last year you used 13.
Well, and that's not what you want. That's not what you want.
But you're banking on older players who are injured to come back and stay healthy?
Not really. No, I think you got to go get a starter. Okay. I just wouldn't get 2. And here's what I'd say today. You got to get another starter. I'd love for that to be Snell or Montgomery, but it doesn't have to be Snell or Montgomery because I do think with the addition of Chapman, there's got to be a trade. There has to be a trade afoot. How can there not be?
Right.
You're sitting there with J.D. Davis. You have Joey Bart, and you potentially even have what could be considered a little logjammy in the outfield. If you want Luis Matos, for example, to be a part of this team this year, where does that leave Slates or Michael Conforto? Like, you potentially have too much going on out there as well. And so there's got to be a deal. Now, maybe that deal brings a starter back that we're not even thinking about right now.
Yeah, perhaps.
And I'm open to that as well. But there does have to be one more move, which is kind of why everybody got concerned when they heard Farhan Zaidi over the weekend say the offseason is over.
The offseason is really over as far as we're concerned. And, we're more in in-season mode, which, doesn't mean you can't make additions, but it's a different dynamic because, we're really focused on the players that we have and how they're all going to fit together. So that's the best way I can answer that question.
The offseason is over, which does not mean that the offseason's over, but we're looking at it that way.
We're in in-season mode, which means now I'm going to continue to make trades, most likely with Seattle, and I'm going to look for Rule 5 guys because one thing we learned about Farhan Zaidi is it doesn't matter what season it is, he's going to make moves.
I very much think they're not. I know you were joking. They're very much not looking for Rule 5 guys because that costs a roster spot for the whole year, and the Giants don't have it.
They already have too many guys.
Exactly.
And you mentioned, I think Logan Rupp was the name.
Landon Rupp.
Whatever. He's not even on the 40-man. So
yeah, but that's
I know, but
lickety split.
The point is, you have so many other guys. To your point about the roster crunch, right now you've got a lot of players on your 40-man roster who have at least been proven major leaguers. So how are you going to free up spots if you bring in a starter? He's got to take one of these spots, and you've got too many infielders. You got a logjam at third. You've got too many outfielders, and here we are, March 4th. We're running out of time here. The opener is in 3.5 weeks.
Correct.
So, and you don't want to just outright DFA some of these guys. You'd love to get something back for them.
Definitely not. I mean, Joey Bart's got no options. However, you can keep these people on the roster right now if you want. Start the year.
Yeah, you got 5 catchers right now.
Well, but Blake Sable can now be sent down.
Right.
I don't know who's the 5th catcher.
Cooper Hummel.
Well,
Cooper Hummel. Mark.
Cooper Hummel plays a bunch of that's
Who
fine.
are you?
Cooper's not going to make the team out of camp. At least would be my.
You
prediction.
got Bailey. You got Murph, the new Murph. Tom Murphy, and Joey Bart, who I can't imagine he breaks camp with the big club. So you're either going to DFA him or you're going to try to get something for him.
They're going to try to get something for him. And I do think that they can. I don't think it's like going to be earth-shattering or whatever. But Seattle literally needs a third baseman right now. So you joke, but you're probably right.
Seattle.
Yeah.
It's always Seattle.
It's always Seattle. And you got Robbie Ray once, which I know that won't pay dividends until later this year, but I do think it'll pay dividends. Okay, let's hear out what he says they're going to do with the starting rotation.
I guess I should address, the pitching side of things. We have talked all offseason, been very consistent that, our plan was to continue to graduate some of the young pitchers that we're really high on to the big leagues, particularly in the rotation. We saw a really encouraging outing from Mason Black yesterday. I think Bomel may have addressed this already, but, Keaton Winn and Kai Tang are getting back off the mound today, which is a big step for them. So they're trending in the right direction. Landon Roop and Carson Wisenhunt have been slowed a little bit in camp, partly because we're trying to be conservative with their buildup, but, they're going to, hopefully Landon, I think, is going to potentially get in a game here in the next week. Carson is going to start facing hitters soon. So we have a lot of guys trending up. And again, the plan all along has been to give our young pitchers opportunities to, try to create a defense that would, support them in their transition. And that's one of the reasons Matt was such a priority. So,
okay. So
it's Roop. Landon Roop.
Landon Roop.
Okay.
Did I say Rupp?
Yeah. I mean, we're all getting to know him.
There's a U in there.
Yeah.
But there's also an O.
Yeah. It sounds like he'll be more of a midsummer call-up if he makes it that far.
Maybe.
He and Carson Wisenhunt.
Mason Black's your first up.
Right.
Mason Black is your first up as far as the non-Kyle Harrison young pitchers for the Giants. Keaton Winn, you've already seen him. Alex Cobb is ahead of schedule. I'm with you. You need another starter. But you're not
Jordan Hicks is a guy who's never really started.
I don't know what to think about that one. Interesting pitcher.
Sure.
Throws 1,000 miles an hour.
And right now, he would be in your rotation. If you broke camp today,
oh, no, for sure.
He's probably your 3 or your 4.
He's your, obviously Logan Webb is your 1.
Webb and Harrison.
Yeah, I guess Harrison starts the second game.
I mean.
And then maybe Hicks.
Then you get Roop in the 4th game?
No, you probably get Keaton Winn. He'll be ready by opening day.
Okay.
Kai Tang, that's another one.
Yeah. He's starting to show some signs.
Yeah.
That's Farhan's word, not mine.